everybody. How are ya? Man, you know what? What have I been doing? Been doing a few things on lovely little TikTok. TikTok. Um, I was looking at a few things and I don't want to, I don't want to see her. But there was some concern with my last sink cleaning. There's, So you mean, oh, I can't find it. Anyways, on TikTok, there's this little person, they're a little person, I don't know if she's little or big, but she's doing Christmas decorations and she's making little things, really cool things. Like she made a Christmas tree where she took a real decorative piece of rope and then she put the wire in there and she put that would take some time, I'm just gonna say. Steve, my hubby. And Steve, my hubby, hang on, gotta answer this. Hello. Hey. Okay, I will do that. Okay, bye. So he wants me to take out chicken in the freezer. So sorry. Hey, this is why it's live. I answer telephone calls that are part of my family. But she's making Christmas decorations. And I'm just wondering how many out there make your own Christmas decorations. I used to do it all the time when I had a sewing machine. And I would make tons of different Christmas decorations. I used to go buy the fabric and make, little tiny stockings and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just curious on what do you do, or what are your things for Christmas? And I know it's like, oh, but Mama, it's not even. It's we're in the middle of November and it's a full moon lunar eclipse. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's a full moon lunar eclipse. Yeah, I know it feels intense out there, and I get it and I understand. But I want to know what your preps are for Christmas. I'm thinking of like this morning I put more lights out around my deck and I put lights around my window. And when do you set up your tree? Some people set up their tree now. I'm thinking of I'm putting up more decorations and I'm going to set my tree up. I think I'm going to set it up next week, closer to the American Thanksgiving, and do that. And I feel the American Thanksgiving is more of a Thanksgiving than the Canadian Thanksgiving. I think the Canadian Thanksgiving, tell you the truth, is really stupid. The Canadian Thanksgiving is it's lame. It's in the middle. It's in the middle of October. It's like, or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. Farmers are still out plowing the fields. So I kind of like the American Thanksgiving because it is sort of like a month before Christmas. It's kind of nice. I know it kind of puts a rush on, having, do we have 2 turkeys? Do we have 2 hams? All that kind of stuff. But I think, when I'm thinking about it, it's kind of nice to have even a gathering on what is it? It's on the 25th this year. So that's next Thursday. And so the 26th, 27th. So yeah, so next Thursday is the Americans Thanksgiving. Wouldn't it be nice if maybe I don't know. Let's jump on the bandwagon and just have some Thanksgiving. So I think with this full moon, I think this is a moon to really bring in the Thanksgiving, to bring in what it is that we want to, and start to think about it. I mean, I feel let's step into that. Let's step into that holly jolly feeling. And I know sometimes it's kind of with the craziness and yeah, maybe, you don't have the money this year, or you don't have, you're more financially strapped, or maybe you're not, maybe you're in a really fabulous position with where you're at. But I feel like this is really a year of connecting. Like as we're winding down this year of craziness, it's time for us to connecting in a spiritual way, connecting in a higher essence of a way, and making it a more personal, more engaging type of season instead of a consumerism. And when they say that there's a shortage supply, and it's harder to get certain items or to get certain things. Well, I think this is a time to get innovative. Let's get innovative with, yeah, okay, you know what? It might be a little bit difficult to get certain things, but you know what? What can I do? What are the things I can create? And what do I have to be so thankful for? I love Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite times of year. I know a lot of the pagan community, they're all into Halloween, and Halloween's nice. I mean, Halloween is very, it's a nice time to connect and connecting with the past, and the veil is thin and all of that. But Christmas is a renewal. Christmas is the turning off of the light. It is 5 days after the winter solstice. And 5 days after the winter solstice is when the light ignites and when you really start seeing the sun coming back. Hence, that's, taking over, part of the pagan part of the Yule, but with bringing in the Christmas, which means Christ Mass, and bringing back Christ. What does that mean for people? What does it mean to bring back Christ into your life? And I don't mean this in a religious way. I don't mean this in a dogmatic way. I mean this in a enlightened way, in a way that brings in the light, because that's what he did. This is a person that came to earth and enlightened people. And enlighten people even though they didn't want to be enlightened. They didn't want to hear it. And a person who came out in his 30s, or actually came out during a Saturn return, funny, and died at the end of his Saturn return in his 30s. So this is about enlightenment and coming to that light, coming to that place where a lot of people may not like what you do, may not like what is going on, but you want to stand firmly in who you are and in that beauty of you, and embracing that Christ consciousness. So as we're heading into this season, the season of Christmas, I mean, we're seeing it, and I know some people don't want to hear Christmas music, and they don't want to do that. It's too soon. And I'm like, why? Why don't you want to? What is it that you don't want to embrace there? And have, and it's like, oh, it's just too much. It's overwhelming. And I'm not talking about, this is could too much overwhelming could be the consumerism. But what is it that to embrace with all of this? I mean, I remember my mother, um, she started to make sausage rolls, and making like little sausage rolls and freezing them and putting them in the freezer, mincemeat tarts. And my dad liked to have his mincemeat tarts capped. He liked to have a little, he called it capped. He liked to have a little, the pastry on top. And some people don't like to have the pastry on top. My mother didn't make butter tarts, but she did make Christmas. She did make the Christmas cake, with all the different fruits and stuff in it. And it would soak in brandy for months, and it would be downstairs, and she'd go down and turn it. So it wasn't actually soaked in. It would last for years because of all the alcohol that was in it. But this is where the energy, and I think even with this full moon, is, yeah, the intensity is there. Yes, it's going into the deeper realms, but in going into the deeper realms, let's bring in that light to go in, so that you know the moon is eclipsed, and there's 10% of the light, and sometimes 10% of the light is all that you get from the torch or from your torchlight. 10% of the light is all you get. You can't, if you're in the dead of night and you're driving your car, and if anybody's driven in out on the highway, and it's pitch dark, and all you have are your headlights. There isn't a lot, but it is enough to illuminate, you through that darkness. And I feel the energies of the Christ consciousness and bringing in that energy of Christ is allowing for us to stand in that power. Jesus wasn't actually made a god until 300 years after his death. And then through Constantine, and bringing together, and that's what Constantine was. He brought together all the different religions, because there was so much fighting. He wanted to bring everything and everyone under one. And that's what he did. And there's more politics to it than that, but we're going to make it simple. But that's what we want to do. We want to bring people together, allow for you to still have your uniqueness and your beauty, but not to be afraid to speak out for who you are and what you want, and your desires, and really going deep into those realms of you. Go deep into those places and say, yeah, this is truly what I am desiring, in amongst all the crazies. Yes, there is a darkness that is coming in. Hey, and this this darkness that is there, I want to illuminate myself, like I am driving through the middle of the mountains and only my headlights on. I'm illuminating that, and understanding that it's okay, because bringing in that divine light helps you go into those deeper resources that we have to go into. There is a war on, and the war is on humanity. The war is on your light. That's where the war is on. There's a push where the elites want to get more elitist, and it reminds me of, and I'm thinking, I go to Versailles, and Versailles it's beautiful. Like, I've never been there. I've just seen pictures, and I watched what is it, Chateau Diaries, and they had they all dressed up in period clothes, and they went there for a party, and it's beautiful. It's spectacular. I mean, everything. It's just amazing, and it's so amazing that it is still standing today. But the reason why I brought up Versailles was, like, there was the elitists. They were the elite of the elite. They didn't really care about anybody else. There was like thousands of people that actually lived at Versailles when Louis was king, and Marie Antoinette, and she wanted anyways, won't get into the political part, but she wanted to make changes there. And there was this, all of these people that felt that they were better than others. They thought they were greater than others, and they were the elite. They were the billionaires of the time. They were the ones that wanted to, think that poo on people. And actually, Versailles was actually stinky. It was dirty. It didn't have sanitation. So where was everybody pooping? They didn't bathe, so it was very disgusting. And they had rodent problems, and then they had a cat problem because they brought the cats in for the rodent. It wasn't as beautiful as it is now. But what I'm trying to say is, like, today is that you have these elitists, you have these billionaires thinking that I'm a billionaire and I have all the answers. But the one thing is that, you're finding all these billionaires that are wanting to go to space. They're wanting to escape that of Earth. But you don't see them coming in and saying, no, I'm tapping into my light to illuminate. There's so much within the air, and wanting, the intellect and all of that. They're forgetting that intellect has to be run by light, which is the heart, the electrical, and they're not tuning into it. They're more, and this is part of the reflection that comes in, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. This is a reflection, and we all end up in this energy, whether, with them, that, oh, well, I need the next greatest thing, or I need the new iPhone, or, all of this, and we get caught up into it, and we forget And I think going back to Christmas, coming back into this moon is coming for us to come into the deep recesses of who we are, to come into that depths of our own being, and time to reset. It's like, oh, I wish Christmas could be all year round. It would be beautiful if Christmas was all year round. But we have to enjoy all of the seasons and all of the transformations that are coming forward. But this is something that we can carry within ourselves and carry within our own divine being in order to remind us that we are illuminated and we can see within the darkness because of our illumination. It's, yeah. Don't ask me to repeat what I just said because, or as I say, this is not scripted. What comes through is what's coming through from the divine. And this is where we need to head to. And that, and as I said, it is on my Instagram today. We do have there is a war going on. And this is a war on humanity, a war on being human and what a human being is. There is a war on being a woman and what that woman is. There's a war on being a man and what a man is. There's a war on how we are betrayed and how we step forward and our own inner beings. So there is so much that is being pushed upon us, so much that is being having us to be segregated, but we don't have to be. You don't have to. You don't have to. And that's the whole thing. It's like stepping into that light allows for you to be able to come into that peace and that bliss and coming into that thriving point. And that's where we have to go into. One of the shows that I do watch, and that is Chateau Diaries. It's on YouTube. And the reason why I love it so much, and it's real life. It's this beautiful woman who's been working at her chateau for like, I think close to 17 years or so. And that's her life mission, is to continue keeping this chateau going. And it is called Lalande Chateau. It's beautiful. But she has been creative in keeping her chateau going, but she's also built a community around her, and a community that wants to thrive, a community that wants to build something that is better and come together in building it. And that's what she has done. I mean, she has a Patreon page and everything, and is very thoughtful in how she is doing things. So a lot of thought and detail has come into how she creates the different parts of her chateau, and how she creates her life and the people that come in to her into her world. And just watching that, just because there's no politics in it, there's no talking about politics or anything crazy like that. It just comes into um living your life and how you want to live your life and how you want to connect with people, and connecting with people from rescuing a hedgehog in her garden to the peacocks and the baby peas, to planting the garden, to the harvest, to setting the table and eating and drinking with friends, and creating the abundance through her page and through what she does. And that's what that's her passion. That's her passion. And what makes it so wonderful to watch is it is her passion. She comes out real. And that, if we can take that into our lives, take that passion into our lives, no matter what it is, raising our children, having working on our farm, going to work, whatever it is, taking that passion and saying, this is what I'm creating. for me each and every day in amongst, okay, like it's lovely because she when she films, it's like the roof is falling down, part of the roof fell down, part of the flooring fell down. Yeah, it's a catastrophe. It's like shit, where's the leak coming from? And of course it's a chateau with what, 19 bedrooms or something like that, 19 rooms. It's huge. Anyways, but you get through it. You call your friend, you get through those things. It's like this is this is life. And this is when when I'm looking at Christmas and looking at the Christ Mass and not bringing in the dogma, not bringing in the religion, but bringing in that Christ energy, that Christ consciousness, which is the light, bringing in that purity of light and not being afraid of it. And that's the other part, not to be afraid of the light. So many are sitting there in the darkness and being in that darkness. And this is where it's like, no, you can be in the darkness. You want to celebrate, like Halloween. As I say, Halloween's beautiful, but it's done. And it's like you can't have Halloween every single day. You can't have Christmas every single day. This is, we bring in the different energies and the different times a year for us to look at the different parts of our lives and look at what needs to be illuminated and what needs to be released. And this is now we're stepping into the energy of, okay, this full moon is going to show us what needs to be released. This full moon is bringing in, with that Scorpio Taurus energy, our values. What are your values? And our old values are no longer aligned. What we thought, before, it's done. And I mentioned that months and months and months ago, that the past is done. This is the newness. This is us stepping into, what do you value and what does that look like? And that's with connection, and having those connections with one another is so important. So tomorrow evening, I'm doing a full moon meditation and dance. If you're wanting to join me, I will be sending out the link. In Unravel with the Guru Mama, there is a Facebook page. It's called Unravel with the Guru Mama. I don't know. Anyways, Melissa set it up for me. I know I'm one of the people that are anyways on it. But so bring you in to Unravel with the Guru Mama and bring you into enlightening and bringing that light into being. So to me, it's dance and dancing. Believe it or not, in my early and late teens, I was a DJ. So I love to dance. I love to put music together. Not in the same way as I did with DJ. I used to have everything for DJing and used to do dances and stuff. So back in the day, back in the day. So back in the 80s, I used to do the DJ. But this is creating and coming together. So if you're interested, let me know. I did ask for donations, but if you can't donate, please don't let that hold you back. I really do want you to come. And starting in December is going to be my extravaganza. That's what I call it. So each day, throughout the whole month of December, I will be having an extravaganza. I will be having different things on sale. Some days will be, maybe readings will be on sale and all kinds of stuff. And even when I come onto Facebook and doing my lives like I'm doing here, I'll be having different extravaganzas that you could purchase at that time. And so you could, when you join and you're like, yeah, I'm interested in that. Here, mama, put my name down, blah, 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 blah. We do the whole thing. So we have the extravaganza coming in. So I'm quite excited about that. So sending you guys all out so much love, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everyone, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.